Warning. The views in this program are based on the opinions of hosts and guests. We try to find common ground in very uncommon and sometimes uncomfortable topics. This show is not one-sided, not political. It's merely an avenue to come together to look at facts and use the experts in their fields of study. It's okay to disagree, so sit back, grab a beverage of your choice, and let's have a conversation.
You go home and cry to your granny. Dolph, tie up the brat. Lisa, hold the book. Vincent, get the truck. And Keith, darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it. Boris, try that. Keith, you know? Oh, watch out for Keith.
Should let that play further, huh?
You should have. It's kind of funny.
I still want to watch the whole video.
I know. We need to find the whole thing.
We never found the whole video, though, did we?
Yes.
I never did.
Oh,
I guess
the
you
whole
did.
video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah,
the
the
whole
premise
show.
behind the video is actually that, and it was a pretty cool idea. The rabbit is the mastermind behind Little Red Riding Hood
Right.
and the wolf. So he's the mastermind behind the wolf. The wolf has no clue. He's just the muscle.
It's a cool idea.
It is a cool idea.
I like that idea.
And who is Keith?
Just
The rabbit's
Just one of
other
the
muscle.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
He's embarrassed to say it.
It's not
I
very,
see it.
it's not very tough.
Not very tough.
Not very scary.
Just go home and cry to your granny.
Well, welcome to Coffee Table Chronicles on this happy Friday, November 19th.
19th. Yep.
It's my grandson's birthday today.
I
happy
saw
birthday.
that. He's so cute.
Yes, he is.
Happy birthday, Amir.
He's
How,
what?
How old?
He's 4.
Wow.
4 or 5?
4
5?
fingers,
What would it be for again?
right?
I don't know if I
On that note, we should have a 4-finger drink for him.
Okay, let's go.
Nobody knows what that means. Yep.
I'm about there.
You're about there. Well, it's supposed to be whiskey, though.
We would be trashed by
We
then.
don't know what is in the cup. The sock.
The sock monkey.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's always a
I
mystery.
don't have that in mind.
There's a reason why it's got 2 handles.
I bet.
So that he can do a, like
Yeah.
a sippy cup.
So you gotta put your pinkies up. Yep.
We got to get him a nipple on it.
It is.
Hey, that's an idea.
It is 7:00 on a Friday night. So
Yes.
It is.
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah, it is time to
Wendy's got a new cup, though. What's your cup?
Faith, family, and friends.
Oh, that's
nice.
cute.
It's a nice autumn cup.
It is. I was
It
going to say
is.
it's very fall-y.
It is.
fall
I like it. Fall-y.
or fallish.
fallish.
No,
Like
Yeah,
that.
fall-y better.
fall-y.
Folly. Folly.
Not Foley. It's
I didn't
different.
say folly. I said folly.
It's very
Folly.
autumn-like.
Folly.
It's very autumn-like.
It is.
Autumn
I like
there
that.
you go.
Autumn like. I like that. That's good.
Crazy.
Speaking of autumn like, I got to try a new peanut butter porter the other night.
We
And
saw
you
the-
got to
we saw the picture.
experience-
It was delicious.
Autumn
I did.
again.
No, I experienced winter. Let's get that straight.
That-
That was not autumn. That was winter.
It was still autumn. There was still leaves on the tree.
So, the dedicated boyfriend that I am,
Yeah.
This is true. He wins lots of boyfriend points.
right. So,
Lots of boyfriend
You know how
points.
Lindsay has a
Shot glass
shot glass
problem.
problem.
Hey, Chris.
what's up?
You like my shirt? I do
I bet he
too.
does. So, but when I got to the airport Tuesday night, it was midnight, so everything was closed, obviously. So I
Right.
wasn't buying her shot glasses then.
Because you came in at what, like 11:30 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. I'm going home at 5 a.m, so nothing's going to be open.
Right.
So I didn't rent a car because the job site was literally 5 minutes from
Yeah.
where the hotel was. So I had no need to rent a car. So I'm sitting there going, where the fuck am I going to find shot glasses? Right.
So on Thursday
So-
afternoon,
So I walk across
being
the
the
parking
dedicated
lot
boyfriend he is.
in 38-degree temperature, blustering winds
Yeah.
to the gas station. There was an Exxon
And they had shot glasses.
hoping they would have shot glasses,
Yeah.
right? So I walk
Big
in the
field,
Exxon.
like a mile field, like an acre field,
yeah, it was
easy.
it
Yeah.
took forever. Uphill both ways.
In the snow.
Yeah.
So I go in the Exxon, of course, no shot glasses. I'm like, shit. He's like, but there's a liquor store right next door.
Oh, there
cool.
There
you
you go.
Welcome
so
to
I
the
went into
Midwest.
the liquor store, and wouldn't you know it, she had to dust off a few shells, but she
Hey,
she found 2 shot glasses.
go.
for me.
Awesome.
So
Boyfriend points.
my face was frozen by the time I got
Yeah.
back to the
Of course, he
hotel.
Oh,
called
wow.
me on the way there to whine about it, and then called me on the way back to whine about
But you're
it.
from New York. You're
Just so
used to
you
this.
know.
I'm
I know.
acclimated to Arizona and Nevada, so
I
I'm
told
not
him,
used to it
stop being
anymore.
such a baby.
Because you left New York when?
I was 19 when I left New York.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Well,
It's
I
been a
mean-
minute.
Even when we go back, we're cold. And we've only been down here 5 years. Just saying.
Your blood does acclimate to the climate.
It
And
does.
then when you go back to something that drastic,
That's true. It was like 80 the day.
it was
when we
65
left.
the day
Yeah.
before. It was beautiful. when I
Well,
got there.
here it was like 80.
It
when
was
we left.
85,
Yeah.
Well, in the Midwest, you can have 2 seasons within one day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but I witnessed it.
You saw
I saw it. And I was like, nope, I'm good.
Because he said the first day, he's like, "Oh, it's not that bad. It's really nice."
Oh, just wait.
And then it was
Hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Indiana was like, "Wait,
Uh,
what? What'd you say?" It wasn't that bad.
Gotta get the man credit. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, Kirsty, you guys experiencing that? Because you guys are back east right now.
I know he gets lots of points.
All right, so let's kick things off. You want to start with memes? Want to start with headlines? What do you want to start
Go with
with?
headlines. Go with your headlines.
All
You
right.
got everything all written out. I'm curious what's written out here.
Well, I actually had to change these headlines midday because we had some breaking
changes.
developments.
Some-
Breaking
yeah.
news.
Right.
It was
Can we
a
start
busy
with-
day.
Can we start with the first headline?
There's a first. Sure.
Yes.
That usually
The big
where we
one?
start.
Did you read my headlines?
What's tomorrow?
Oh, I get my tattoo tomorrow.
Ooh.
Excited about that.
That's the first
Awesome.
headline.
Pretty excited.
Nice.
So we're gonna get some pictures midday, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
He goes in at 1:00. There might be videos sent depending on
Okay.
how bad it is.
Live stream. Yeah. Yeah.
Video. High of 55 today. That's
That's not bad.
it's not terrible.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
That's doable.
Sunny or cloudy?
What are we on YouTube?
Because that's huge. CTC.
CTC.
Okay.
Are we still on YouTube?
After last week, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
Well,
No,
we're
it's-
streaming.
I got a check mark up there.
Look,
so
isn't
we're
that where
good.
Chris is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris is on
See,
YouTube.
so we're on YouTube.
So we're good.
They didn't
Okay.
get kicked off after last week because they probably didn't watch the whole thing. So that would have happened.
All right. So some of the
I'm
headlines.
sorry I missed it.
You got to relive it.
Oh, she's
Forever.
seen it a couple times.
That's the beauty. You get to relive it
Forever.
over and
Yeah.
over and
Yes.
over and over.
Yep.
Great.
All your trips.
John's making sure of it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
All
it was a good one. The look on John's face still was the best.
What do you mean? The three of us were all like,
Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's
Sunny.
You
See,
said it
so
was
you're
sunny.
great.
and again, if you missed it, you might want to relive last week's. Probably
It
best
was
on
fun.
Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely
Better.
best on Rumble. All right.
If too many people watch it, it'll get.
So
seen.
headline number 1, hospitalizations rising among fully vaccinated in the U.S., Fauci says.
He
Hmm.
actually said that.
Yes. So as cases of COVID-19 rise throughout the U.S., health officials warn that increasing number of fully vaccinated people are being hospitalized or going to the emergency room. The concern about waning immunity against severe COVID infection comes as the FDA is expected to authorize a Pfizer BioNTech vaccine booster shot for all adults 18 and over.
So it's the unboosted
That's right.
that are in the hospital.
That's where my rant's going
Oh,
to come
see,
in. but I'll
we're-
save that
so
till
we're
later.
safe.
We're safe.
We're
Yeah,
great.
We're good.
Yeah.
So what we're starting to see now is an uptick in hospitalizations among people who've been vaccinated but not boosted.
Yeah.
So this is the next play in the game.
You
Yes.
should technically be on your third booster. If you were the first wave that got it, like all the healthcare people and everything that got it, like that were approved to begin with, you should be on your third booster.
So
Your
So-
third booster or your third shot?
Third booster.
Booster.
You have your initial 2.
What?
You
There's,
have your first booster, second booster. You should have just gotten your third booster.
They're on the third booster. Wow.
You should be.
Apparently, I've
To-
been like,
because
to
it
con-
wanes
to
after just
stay
like after
6
a couple
months.
Yeah.
So they're saying to stay to CDC guidelines for what they suggested. It's every 6 months.
oh wow.
And now I was just reading this morning.
Now, are these boosters labeled? Let's get the booster.
apparently
Come
not.
on, Chris. Let's go.
Apparently they're not, because of the fact that they are, they're hitting these kids now in 3 or 4 states. We were just watching
With the
this,
same
Oh yeah.
one
that they're hitting the kids now
with the adult.
with the
Yeah.
adult version. So
And
apparently
it's-
they're not labeled enough.
So at what booster do we get to the point where we just say, you know what? Fuck it, this ain't working. Didn't work
Didn't
the
you
way we
read
wanted
my
it to.
meme?
They're-
Did you put it up?
I think I did. I'm
My
pretty sure I
booster
did.
meme?
I think I did. I'm
Oh,
pretty
that
sure I
one's
did.
good.
So just hold on. Let's not jump ahead.
But that one explains why. That one
So
explains
there was an article that was out either yesterday or today. I think I want to say it might have been today, that said that some health experts, having a hard time speaking.
Sexperts?
Yeah, exactly. are saying that this may never go away.
It's not going to. It's a political game. It's never going to go away.
They say there's a potential that we will live with this for years, if not for the rest of our lives.
It's a virus.
Right.
It's a virus.
I mean,
And it kind of goes back to exactly what you're saying. Goes back to what we've known about viruses, the reason why there's a flu bug every single year.
It's a virus because it morphs every single year.
right. It
And the
mutates,
reason why
yeah.
you get the bad ones is like the F1, whatever,
H1N1.
H1N1, because that one went from pigs back to humans. So that's when it tweaks.
See, Chris, you're right. It is money is what drives politicians. And I agree that a lot of this has to do with money, but
Mhm.
I still say there's something deeper going
There's
on.
something else
Yeah.
going on.
Definitely something deeper going on here.
Yeah.
More than money.
I mean, it just come on now. And we're
You can't tell me that you're out to save people.
I don't want
In the world.
I want to say
I
my
mean,
rant
it's
till
not just the
later.
US.
Oh, see, thanks, Chris. You're sucking them in right now.
But we're too stupid to see everybody. Oh, let's go get our booster. Come on, guys. Enough is enough. You joke about the 20th booster, but at the
But
like
see,
you said,
but see, and again, but that goes against what we're supposed to be saying. And I firmly believe in the fact, if you want to go get vaccinated,
Go for
get
it.
vaccinated.
Go for
If
it,
you want
yeah.
to live it the rest of your life in your house with a mask on while you drive, go for it.
Go for
I
it.
mean, but
Same thing as the flu shot, though. Does it matter if you got your flu shot or not? I don't particularly care.
right.
Does it make
exactly.
you feel better?
Right.
Awesome. There you go. It's the same thing.
It's to protect yourself, not anybody
Yeah,
else around
it's
you.
for
And I
you.
don't
I
understand.
grabbed the wheel and put us back on the road.
I see.
Yeah.
I see it.
You're welcome.
Good job.
All
So nice.
right,
Somebody's running the show here.
shut
Isn't
up,
that
Beth.
what we're supposed to be talking
shut that
about?
topic for now. Nobody saw that because I put the thing up. Oh man. All right,
Nobody
so
saw
jury in the
that.
Rittenhouse murder trial find him not guilty on all counts.
Woohoo!
Let's go, Kyle.
So
Woohoo!
the question becomes, why did it become so political?
Because this whole damn thing's been political.
Because all the rights have been. Yeah, exactly.
Because the media did what it always does and jumps at conclusions before it has the facts.
But
Is
even
it
when the
any more
facts-
than-
even when
is
the
it any
facts
more?
are finally put out there, and I'll say this: even when the facts are finally put out there,
Like actually put out there or put out there on
By
So-
other
media
people.
sites.
turn me on. This is from today. After the
Whoa.
Turn them on. Woo,
turn
Wendy.
me on. This is from
Oh.
after.
Hold on.
Oh,
I gotta get rid of
oh
this.
shit!
Is that you?
That's me.
Okay.
So this was after the verdict was read. De Blasio. So CNN says Kenosha shooter Kyle Rittenhouse is acquitted of all charges on his homicide trial. CNN. De Blasio. Anthony Huber and Joseph Rosenbaum are victims. They should be alive today. The only reason they're not is because a violent, dangerous man chose to take a gun across state lines and start shooting people.
So he was totally misinformed.
Totally misinformed.
See, now that
And the funny thing is, you can see on here, he posted this and it sat on there. I picked this off of Twitter 3 hours after the fact,
Hmm?
and nobody bothered to tell him, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, that's actually inaccurate.
that would not be correct information.
Because someone would lose their job
So
over
my-
telling him he's wrong.
So my family feels that same way because that's the information they've been given.
Yes.
Because they have not been given the correct information. So what information is actually going to be out there? If that's all the information that's still going to be out there to this day, How's anybody going to know?
But
Because nobody's going to do the research to find out.
I'll go back to John's point that he always brings up. If people would have more than one source
But
for their news,
you're
they
looking
would have
at,
seen this stuff.
but they don't want to look.
Right.
They're
They
going
just
to be
wanna
what's
look at
given
Because
to them.
everybody
their
wants to
favorite
just read the
station, and that's
headlines.
it.
Well, and what's given to them? Why would I go looking at 5 different news sources when I can scroll through Facebook or Twitter and see this? Why would I go look somewhere else? Because why would people lie?
Well, they're putting their faith in unfortunately the wrong source.
Because they don't
Right.
care that much. They just want the headlines. They just want that snippet.
Well, the good news
True.
is the trial is going to be a topic tonight. We're going to get into a
It's
deeper
going to be a
discussion
topic
on
for
it.
a while.
Right.
See, and unfortunately, at one point, because of my constant, bitching and complaining about the fact that people don't look at more than one source,
Mhm.
or at least one. I actually this week, but I was going to put at one point. I thought, all right, I'm going to put up some of my news sources, but then you get into copyright and
Yeah.
all those, legal issues, blah blah blah. I actually have found myself being quite entertained watching what's the guy, the leftist I'll come back to it.
Jesse
Okay.
Jackson.
Circle back to it.
I'll circle back.
So
to
circle
it.
back
Okay.
around.
Yeah.
You want me to keep that up? Do you have more stuff
No,
to show on there?
you finish your stuff.
Well, mine
More
go
headlines.
off- Yeah, mine go off on several
Tangents. That's okay.
They're not they're not supposed to.
So yeah, they are. So Mitch McConnell says the House didn't listen to the people, and this is in regards to the bill that was just passed.
Yes.
So Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell on Friday slammed President Joe Biden and Democrats after the House voted to pass a $2 trillion social spending bill.
Are you
The
serious?
bill now goes to the Senate. 90% of Americans, this is a quote, 90% of Americans are worried about inflation, but House Democrats just voted to let Washington, D.C. print, borrow, and spend trillions more, the senator said in a statement. Our economy is shaky, but House Democrats just voted for this historic tax hikes that would drain hundreds of billions of dollars out of U.S. industries and kill American jobs.
Yep.
I like Peppermint Patty's assessment of this. She says that
She's going to circle back around.
she says that the Republicans are rooting for inflation.
What?
And it's like, and several of the Republicans are going,
Is she smoking
excuse
crack?
me, we're trying to
think she
do
is.
our
Stop
best to
this.
stop this from
Yeah.
getting off the rails.
Right.
What the fuck? She's so stupid.
I'm going to save this next headline because it actually ties into our hooker of the week. So I'm going to save that one.
Mm,
Well,
Okay.
we could say it and put the hooker in right after it.
Do you want to do that?
it's
can
early
do
for the
that.
hooker.
Transitions are good.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
Dad says it's mostly about government control of the population. They are seriously testing the waters, and the Democrats like what they see so far.
I like that. That's what happens when they get their
Mm,
news off
hun-
TikTok.
Absolutely. And Snapchat and everything else, because that's the only place they know to go because they're not old enough to know that there are other things out there.
Hey, TikTok has some good weather reports. Just saying. Sorry.
What, nipples knowing where the rain is? I
wasn't even talking about that, but that's
Oh.
good you said that. All right. So this one's going to.
Why is that really what's on there? I don't have TikTok.
This next headline is going to cause me to go off on a rant also.
All right,
Uh-oh.
we're ready. We're strapped in.
Are
How-
you ranting or am I ranting?
House plans to vote Wednesday to censure Paul Gosar and strip him of 2 committees.
Yes.
Now,
So he is the state senate for Arizona, right?
No, he's a state rep.
he's a rep.
State rep. Okay.
Is he for Arizona?
He's
Yes.
for
Okay.
Arizona.
He is either second or third district.
So a couple of things. I agree wholeheartedly with that because I think what he did was poor taste,
Absolutely.
whether he
There's a
did
little bit in poor
whether he did
taste.
or not. But
Not appropriate for somebody in his stature.
no, and not appropriate for
He's
anybody.
leadership.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care how much you hate the president of the United States. You should never threaten.
Harm or
Or
anything.
put
Yeah. Or
anything out there that
suggest.
threatens
I want
them.
to. I want to hear this as I'm watching you in your shirt. But yeah,
We're supporting him.
How-
Let's go.
How is that? How is that threatening?
Yeah.
Brandon's a damn nice guy.
he is a nice.
Okay.
guy.
He is a damn good race car driver.
He's a good race car driver.
Okay.
I support him 100%. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go,
Yeah,
Brandon.
this is
What
this isn't
you
violent.
imply on that is your issue, not mine.
I know how I take it.
But that doesn't mean that's how you take it.
And just by saying F Joe Biden, how is that threatening the president?
Yeah. You can still
Good
It's
point.
just like,
I mean,
screw
that
you.
is
Yeah,
very true.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just like
it's not
screw you.
threatening. It's
No.
what you'd say to somebody in a bar. Hey,
It's not saying I'm going to throat punch him or anything.
But
you
here,
know.
here's where my issue comes in. You remember? Let's go back to when Trump was president.
Yeah.
Kathy Griffin.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, that is a good point.
What happened to her?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And she was technically breaking the law in the fact that it should have caused a Secret Service investigation.
Should have been isn't that a
Absolutely.
terrorist threat?
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. First of all, the fact that he made a cartoon, no physical action in that, all on the computer. He literally posted faces on the characters that were already made. Okay.
True.
She did a physical act. She either made this head or
That's
had somebody make this head and physically held it.
I mean, that's splitting hairs pretty thin.
That is a whole different set of worms.
I'm going to call that.
You're still,
I'm
you
not.
know, he's still leadership. He should.
He still is.
He should be setting the example for everybody else, and he set a very poor example.
did.
Yes.
Bottom line,
And so did she. She's a public figure. It's
absolutely,
the same thing.
absolutely.
So why are they not being treated the same?
Hold on. So in turn,
Ooh.
Kathy
Oh.
is our
Hooker of the week. I still very much love how it shimmies.
you know her, you hate her, or maybe you love her. I don't know. Depends on.
I didn't like her
your
even
opinion.
before any of this.
I don't think
but
she's funny, but
I used to
There
like
she
her years
is.
ago, but not anymore.
I never even did then. I always thought she was a terrible comedian. She was never funny. Even like way, way back, I never thought she was funny. I thought she was stupid.
So why is she Hooker of the Week?
Because
What'd she do? Tell
no-
us. Tell us.
she didn't. There were no ramifications.
nothing for her.
for what she did to Trump.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, didn't her career go down the toilet afterwards? I mean,
her career's the same garbage as it was before.
To what degree, though? I mean, she's back doing stuff now.
Yeah.
I, mean,
Oh,
I,
is
I
she?
heard she just got over cancer or something. I don't ever
Eh.
wish that on anybody, but you know, just the fact that, all right,
That you can
again,
do
I-
something like that and nothing happens
I
to
mean,
you.
you held up
But
a
yet-
bloody head of
True.
President Trump,
true.
a decapitated bloody head.
And nothing happened to you. And this guy made an anime and he's losing his job and
What-
his career
Man,
over it?
which he should. I
So
agree
he's
with
not.
that.
He's not. Yeah, I mean, so technically.
But
he's
why is
not.
it
So
different?
he's being censored and he's losing his committee assignments. So every representative is assigned 2 committee assignments.
Yeah.
So he is losing his committee assignments for essentially a year and 2 months. So
and then will he be able to come back?
He will be able to get his committee assignments again. So now representatives are reelected every 2 years.
Okay.
So technically, you know, the big thing is he's going to have something to
Exactly.
answer. He's going to have to answer to something on the next election cycle, which will be in a year.
Hmm.
And then, you know, if and when he comes back, which I would assume that he's going to come back, he's never had a problem in his.
Yeah, he's good at his
district.
job.
So he will get, you know, so when there's a new speaker, they will assign him because the speaker assigns the committee assignment. So
Okay.
he'll get
New committees or
new
whatever.
committees.
Okay.
So I don't know if Chris's comment there was meant towards my "Let's Go Brandon" comment, saying that it wasn't threatening and implies intent. Did he mean that by that, or was he? Chris, were you talking about the video that was
About
made?
her or about the video?
'Cause I missed that comment. I didn't see when it popped up. So
Mhm.
Yes, I would
I agree with
that.
that.
yeah, but yeah, so that's why I chose her as Hooker of the Week, because it's like the penalty for her should have been kind of stiff. I think.
Yes,
True.
I
I would
agree.
agree with that.
That's
I mean,
a lot
mean-
more aggressive than the video.
And
Than
again,
a cartoon.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to make light of the subject because what he did was wrong.
Right.
Anybody who threatens the president with harm, let me put it to you that way, there should be
I
consequences
didn't.
for it.
I
I don't
didn't
care
actually
who, I don't
see
care
it.
who it is.
So what was it?
The video.
So
I watched bits and
it's
pieces
an
of
anime
it.
video and it's them like
Every-
he's running through the streets. So it's an anime video. He's
The-
running through the streets. He put his face on the cartoon picture. He's running through the streets and at the end he takes the sword to the big
Titan. They were Titan.
Titan.
It was a story about the Titans.
Yeah.
Okay.
How they're
so he
defeating
runs
the
through the
Titans.
street and then he slashes him. No blood, no spewing, no nothing. Just literally his picture and the character goes like this in front of him. And then one was for AOC and then one was for Biden.
Oh, okay.
No, nothing spewing, no violent, no
I mean, I was Lindsay wanted me to put up the picture with Kathy in the head, and I just didn't want to do that tonight. Same as I'm not playing the video.
Yes,
But-
I agree.
But
Physical actions. She had physical actions. Making something on the computer is different than physically doing it.
yeah, but it doesn't lessen what he did.
No,
He
it
still- What he did
doesn't.
was
Yeah.
still wrong.
But that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
And he
If
needs to pay
he's
for it.
getting this, she should have had it worse.
Right. But that kind of goes with our topic tonight. Is the media? It wasn't
It's how
all. It wasn't all over the news when Kathy did that.
Oh, yeah,
That
it
should-
was.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It was.
It was everywhere.
I
But
didn't see it
nothing
on, like,
happened to her.
CNN or nothing like that.
Oh, yeah, it was everywhere.
Was it? I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing it.
Yeah.
But they
But
were
it was
promoting
okay.
it.
But it was
They
okay.
were promoting it,
Right.
yeah.
It was how they spun the
Spun it.
story. You know, it was, I don't want to say a joke in jest or
Mhm.
whatever, but it just,
That's
they-
how it was like
they didn't
Portrayed.
portray it the same way
as
as
aggressive.
Right.
Yes,
And it all comes down to how they portray something.
I agree,
I'm
Chris.
looking for it now.
Animation
I did
is
not
not-
know that he was a
Is
doctor.
non-physical and implies humor without intent.
Yes, I agree with that. What he did was very
It's
different
still
than what
not
she
right,
did, but it's
though.
still not right.
Right.
To imply that you're killing anybody.
You're slashing the president.
Right.
Yes.
It's just wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah. It was in
So,
poor taste.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Kathy Griffin, that was beyond poor taste.
100%.
I mean, who the hell talked to her? Who talked her into that? How did she think?
did she come up with this?
Yeah,
Like,
apparently
did
allegedly she came
Yeah.
up with it.
she
but-
came up with it and hired a photographer for it? Is what I
Yeah.
was reading about it. And he
Well,
and had a photo shoot, so I'm sure there's more than one picture. And then she picked the best one to put on Instagram.
you're trying to find the video.
I'm
John?
trying to find
They've
it.
ta-
I'm
they
not-
pretty
It's
much
taken
taken
it down. It's on
uh,
YouTube, but it's like mixed in other stuff.
Yeah, you
that sucks.
yeah, it is on YouTube, but they mixed it with another video. So
Oh.
you
Yeah.
have to
So you
watch
have
the
to
whole
watch the
thing,
whole
and it's
thing to
kinda
get the pieces.
intertwined. We probably just got them in trouble too. But
Yeah.
They don't know whose it is.
Dan brings
They
up a
don't
good
know whose
point.
it
You know,
is.
Maxine Waters has made several
Yep.
threats to everybody and anybody. And so
True,
she
yeah.
gets nothing out of
Right.
it. And
Mhm.
there's somebody that needs to just
Go away.
retire.
is
And
Ghost
Schniff
is
and
Ghost a
Pelosi.
Republican?
Yeah.
He is.
Of course he is.
So
That's why he's in trouble. And that's why she wasn't. And then Schniff, is that right, Dad? And Pelosi, all the abuse that
Oh,
they
Schiff,
threw at
Schiff.
Trump.
Schiff.
Schiff,
shit.
Schiff,
Yeah. Adam Schiff.
Adam Schiff.
out
like
of
a
California.
shifter, but with no t.
Out of California.
Sorry.
He is a used car
He's
salesman.
a shifty devil,
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
And he meets his name.
kind of like your wiener sucker. Anyway,
What was
Again,
his name again?
Again, go back and watch last week's video.
What was his name again? Or what state is he over?
Buttigieg.
Pete?
Buttigieg?
I think we're gonna. Just
I think
let
you guys
run.
do this on
we're
purpose.
We're gonna just let you run with that.
Buttigieg, the wiener sucker? Okay.
Oh, shit.
All right. So
I should probably
I'm gonna
actually.
stop trying to
watch
find us,
this
so
more.
I don't have to worry about finding us on YouTube anymore.
No,
Yeah,
we're good.
that's why we can't find us on Facebook.
Chris, you're going to have to go over to Rumble. Chris, you're going to have to go to Rumble and be kicked off real quick.
We are losing platforms.
Losing
left and right.
platforms.
Hey, Rumble still loves us.
Uh,
Totally fine.
At all, if nothing else, we can get on Getter.
Get her.
Go get her.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about that.
GETTA?
Buttigieg doesn't know about that.
GETTR.
Oh, get her. Get her.
Like,
Get
get her
her.
done.
Get her done.
Getter.
Interesting.
And what's a getter?
It's like the Republican version of Twitter.
You see, I see how Dad gets in so many fights on Twitter now.
He's trying to get himself thrown off.
I'm surprised he
He
hasn't
has not been
been
successful, and that blows my mind.
That just, I don't know how.
We have people that get kicked off every other day.
It's
And-
Facebook though.
I know. but
Wendy's
still.
off Facebook like twice a week.
Yeah.
The other Wendy.
The other
There
one- the other
is,
Wendy.
oh, I did see, and I want to get it for, there's a cute little Christmas ornament that has the Facebook symbol and it's a little jail in front of it.
I
And it
saw
says
that. Oh, really?
FB jail 2021. And I was like, oh, that'd be the best thing ever. Somebody
Nice.
cut him out of wood. I was like, that is brilliant.
Right?
That is
Coming your way, Dan.
I know.
good, right?
He needs an Instagram one that has the door open because he hasn't been kicked out yet.
That's true. He doesn't do Instagram, Twitter.
Not Instagram, Twitter.
Twitter,
Sorry.
yeah.
No, we can't figure out Instagram yet. It's all
You wanna go
pictures. You
back to
can't yell
your-
at people
Oh
with that.
yeah, we can. do
I'm
that.
done with my headlines.
Okay.
Hooker of the week, Kathy Griffin.
Yay.
Woo!
All right. So as we saw, the Build Back Better plan was passed the House, but it has to go past the Senate. But the
tax year.
Congressional
People.
Budget Office said that it was going to be a deficit of $367 billion. So when they say going to cost nothing, they're
it's
wrong. Other items in the economy.
Nothing
How
is
much
for
does that
free.
equal out to me, though? Like, how much do I have to pay for that?
So
You're going to have to get that 4th, 5th, and 6th job.
I saw something weeks ago,
Exhausting.
maybe a couple months ago, that said that every taxpayer
Mm-hmm.
is responsible for somewhere in the neighborhood of $200,000 worth of the deficit.
Where do you think I'm going to get that from?
Of the what we're in debt.
Build Back
The
Better
national-
program.
The national debt. We're each of us own about $200,000 worth.
Good. So can I just get a house for that?
Nope.
I mean, we needed to do that. It's all the pork and the other crap, and they should have started this thinking about it, put money aside years ago when they knew that our infrastructure was failing.
Right.
Well, here's the problem. How much of that money is actually going to go to infrastructure?
None.
It's
there
going to
will
get
be.
lost in the shuffle, just like the Obama shovel-ready jobs.
Shovel-ready jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shovel them right into the ground.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right into somebody's bed.
Yep.
South Korea tech companies are doubling down on U.S. investments, shifting away from China.
Ooh.
Vast majority of that is going to be on
That's nice.
like technology, chips, and things like that. So that's a huge plus for us.
Too bad we're all not going to be vaccinated, so we won't have a job.
So an MIT expert says that there is chronic underutilization of America's trucking capacity. Boy, this is hard to read. It means 40% is left on the table every day. So
Mhm.
they are only 60% efficient, basically, if you want to read into that.
Well, we had this conversation, and I could see it with Nick, my son, with driving a truck. They were doing some intermodal work,
Mhm.
and he brought up a very good point, and I saw this, somebody else had brought that up too, in which these truckers, they go to these ports for the intermodal containers,
Yeah.
and there's one crane.
Mhm.
They sit there for hours.
Yep.
While the ones that are getting paid, that are working for a company and are
Hourly,
getting
they
paid
don't care.
hourly, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But these other ones that they
That
get
are per job.
per load, they're not
Which are
going to
usually-
sit there for an hour or two just to pick up one container.
Yeah. Well, and those are usually the ones that are self-employed.
Exactly.
I'm getting paid so much to do this job. It's
Exactly.
not Walmart or Amazon or whatever who pays you hourly because they don't care.
So it's not, that there's a shortage or whatever. It's they're choosing to use their time more wisely
Mhm.
to make more money doing other trucking
Doing
jobs.
other jobs.
Right.
Exactly.
Actually, this MIT expert said that the amount of time that it would take to alleviate the trucker distribution problem that's on the trucker end would only be 18 more minutes per trucker
Mhm.
in drive time.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, would fix it. But the fact is, to be able to get that 18 more minutes, it costs X amount of more hours
Mhm.
just to get that 18 minutes.
Right.
And truckers are only allowed to be on the road for 11
So many hours.
Right.
Yep.
So why do they want to wait in line to get a freaking load?
Right.
Especially if they have far to drive.
Exactly.
Record high arrests of. Oh,
Uh-oh.
damn it.
Did it die?
Wah,
Oh.
wah.
It died on 'em.
Well,
Moving on. Technical
we'll come back.
difficulties.
Do the memes.
We'll,
do the
we'll,
memes.
we'll circle back to that.
we'll come back to that.
Computer died. We have a lot of memes, and you guys sent some great ones over too. So we got some good ones.
Dad
tonight.
says 200,000. The government can go pound sand. Start pounding, sir.
All right, I like this one.
Oh, yeah, twice.
I'm sorry, you can't see my hand.
Me.
We're all raising our hand.
Oh, Keith especially did pump gas this week.
Yes. This is
Stopped
great.
at, he stopped at $60 and said, nope, can't do it
We
anymore.
might have to revisit. I want to put this on here.
I think that's true.
I think it is too, but I want to read more into it maybe for next week's
No,
show.
it is. It actually is true.
That's awesome.
Are they going for like a state? Like where are they?
I
Because
forget
to
which-
run for Congress, don't you have to be for an area or something?
Yeah. So I forget exactly which state or states they were doing.
We'll
cool.
bring that up next week again. We'll look deeper
Okay.
into that
Yeah,
story. 'cause
okay.
That'd be. I think that's a great story. So I like this one.
Too soon. Nope. Still good.
Yep.
Funny.
Did you see the
Oh, I love this one.
prosecutor or whatever that was waving the gun around with his finger on the trigger?
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Well,
The frack.
That goes back to the point where, with these bills, a lot of people think, that it's not going to affect them. So this is a perfect
Yep.
bill
Yes.
for that. you know?
Absolutely.
That is your Build Back Better.
Yep. Exactly. That's great. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
That's good. Too.
Still the best.
It's almost 370 up by us here.
It's 379 when I was driving in today.
Oh, was it?
it's crazy.
Not at ours, thankfully, but
Yeah.
at the ones I drove by on the way home.
Crazy.
But it's
crazy.
going to help drive electric cars.
This
Yep.
is awesome.
Isn't that the best? I saw that. I had this. I'm like, Keith, you have to put this in.
That's funny.
That is the best. Let me get you a tissue for in your hand. Yep. Keith,
Exactly.
Yeah.
were you colder because I didn't wear a jacket?
I was. Somebody
Yeah.
wasn't wearing their jackets, so I was colder yesterday. This was good. Too.
Oh,
This was
yes.
funny.
Yeah, that was. I like that.
Oh, I love it.
Right?
Gotta love John Lennon.
Awesome.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Yep. And I hope he does.
Who is that dude?
That's the kid that hold on, I have his name.
They beat the crap out of him.
Nick
didn't they?
Sandman. So he's the guy that him and his class had gone to DC.
Okay.
And so they were sitting there and they were watching. There was a guy who was doing a Native American Indian
Oh, okay,
dance
dance or
in
something. Okay,
DC.
cool.
The media took the video and tightened it way up to make it look like so that the guy who was doing the Indian dance
Mhm.
walked up in front of Sandman and was dancing in front of him. And
Yeah.
so he got a little uncomfortable with
Yeah,
it.
because
So
that's
he had-
kind of just weird.
so he had kind of this weird look on his
Yeah.
face, and so the media tightened it up real
Tight.
and
Yeah.
said that he was making fun of the guy doing the
When he was
Indian
just
dance.
feeling weird.
And he was just feeling weird because the guy is literally right
On
so
him,
he's
yeah.
like in
It was
his
right
And they're
in
face.
his
moving
face.
around and yeah.
And so and they ran with this. So I actually did some research just looking into it, and it was 40 something minutes the first week alone that CNN ran defaming this kid.
Wow.
40 minutes
40 something minutes for the entire
Jeez.
in a week?
in a week
for one little.
because you know how
snippet
news
like
stories
that?
because you know how news stories
5
are
minutes,
usually,
5 minutes,
well,
5
it's
minutes.
not even
5
that.
minutes.
It's 30 seconds here, 30 seconds
Right.
there.
If
So
that.
they had 40 something minutes total in just 1 week of defaming this kid when they knew that what the story was.
Wasn't true.
And so obviously he got the whole story out there and then ended up
With other
suing.
videos
So
and
he's-
pictures and
he's
yeah.
sued successfully CNN and I want to say the New York Post. Or
That's
the
awesome.
New York Times, I think. And so and he's got other defamation of character
That's
suits
probably still out there.
against
Yeah.
Good.
NBC,
Yeah.
Yeah.
ABC, CBS. I mean,
Because everybody
all this-
ran with it once one
everybody
person
ran
got
with
it.
And so he's got all sorts and he got $250 million. Well, it was $243 million is what he was suing CNN for.
Yeah.
And it's all undisclosed.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly what he got,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's going to be a good payday.
Yep. He's good.
Well, he's got to give some to his lawyer too. So
I agree, Chris.
That's a t-shirt right there.
Put it back the way it was.
Right?
I
That's
agree.
We
a-
were doing just
can we
fine.
get a shirt like that?
That-
That's an awesome
jobs
shirt.
That'd be a
were
great shirt.
jobs were great.
All right. Any more memes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a ton of
Yeah,
memes.
we got a lot of memes.
Okay.
It
Go
was
up,
a
up.
me- it was a
up,
meme
that one.
week.
It was.
That's what happened when Wendy's not here.
For real. I found that one. You eating the same shit I am.
Right?
Stop posting it. You got the same pie. Just stop.
This was funny.
This one just made me laugh. This one just made me laugh.
There was a video. Wendy, there was a video and it was the two girlfriends. I don't know if they were sisters or girlfriends, and it was same kind of thing. And she was like, "Here, eat this edible, and then we'll go." And they had their like bags packed, everything. And then you see them like 10 minutes later, and they're passed out on the bed in their bikinis, and they're like, Hawaii's great.
That was funny.
That was great.
Yeah, no shit,
Absolutely.
right?
How
I saw
many
that,
masks
I'm like,
do you see
that's
hanging?
perfect. Yeah.
That is
Oh,
awesome. That is awesome.
I like the fan.
I've seen this one before. I like that.
I was trying to add some
There
more
you
funny
go.
stuff.
That's
some
cute.
That's
humor.
good.
That's
I
funny.
like
That's
that.
cute.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I was trying to help you out.
Hey, it's the
sad state of affairs.
That is
right?
sad but true.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be like no gas vehicles.
you don't need an alarm system. Just buy a stick shift car.
Yeah.
We're
No one-
good.
nobody will steal
Nobody
it.
will know what the hell to do with it.
I saw this one. I thought that was great.
the best. Go, Granny. That's going to be your mother.
She's carrying a rifle.
That's going to be your
Oh
mother.
my god.
That was good.
That's funny.
What was this one? Oh yeah, this was good too.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Things
he-
people didn't know about him.
But he's a
Yeah.
white supremacist. Didn't
He
you?
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
That-
it.
that's it?
That's all the memes.
That's
Let's go
all
back
of
to
it?
Thanksgiving because I think people need to know this again. Don't do it. Come on.
The funny thing is, I know this wasn't his statement, but I can totally
But this,
hear his
but
voice saying
Yeah,
this.
Saying
right.
It fits with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I can totally
Everybody's
hear
eating
him
the
saying
same
that.
shit.
I have a little bit of Thanksgiving theme for later on in the show.
I love him.
Cool.
I love Kevin.
Are you back up and running?
I'm back up and running.
All right, let's
You
So-
sure you plugged in? You good?
I am plugged in, otherwise I would still be dead. So I have
On that
here,
note,
Nick
Touche.
Sandman suggests Kyle Rittenhouse should sue.
what is
for
with your weird
defamation.
mouse thing?
I do a lot of presenting, and so I have to have a nice, mouse that everybody can see.
Why is it like delayed and all like behind? Was it
That-
eating those edibles?
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about. It looks perfectly fine to me.
Perfectly normal.
Shut up! It
It's
does
got
not.
like the tail. When
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Second
See?
lawsuit filed against
get it.
Alec Baldwin for the
I gotcha.
Rust incident
the rust incident.
where he shot that videographer.
On the
Why is
side.
it called rust?
'Cause
That's the name of the movie.
Oh. I was literally thinking rust. I was like, was there rust?
Did you
in
hear
the
about the Scottsdale School District that the president had a dossier on
game?
several of the parents?
What?
He had
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole list.
Personal information.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I did. Hear
How
about
you
that.
voted, what you felt, what you stood for, where you
Credit
been, social
scores.
security numbers.
Yeah, so
What?
credit
For
scores.
real.
Yeah.
For real.
Oh yeah.
And
When
this is
you-
why we should
Our next
trust our
governor, Carrie
government,
Lake,
huh?
she
Yeah.
is all over that.
I'm
She-
sure
I
she
don't like
has.
her.
I
I
like Carrie
love
Lake.
Carrie
She's
Lake.
Nope.
awesome.
Me and you'll have a
I
conversation
love
afterwards.
Carrie Lake.
She's gonna
Uh,
change into something else.
So
That's what people keep saying. That she's kind
Absolutely.
of
This
You have
is
to
more
look
of a
at
rhino.
who's,
a
you have to look
Newsweek
at who's
editor?
backing her.
a Newsweek editor said that mainstream media had abandoned the American working class. And she even
Absolutely.
admits that she was as left can be. And she's finally just, as going into our conversation, as others have found out, that they're finding that you just cannot go left enough,
Mhm.
according to the media.
No.
Again, about the Rittenhouse verdict, it was interesting that this has become so political. 16's hospitalized after shooting at a Colorado park.
Mm.
Didn't know if anybody's
that's
ever
not
seen
good.
That.
Didn't hear about that.
That happened
Yeah.
earlier this week.
Didn't hear about it.
Judge blocks New York Times from publishing Project Veritas documents.
You know what I do want to go back to the Rittenhouse
Yeah.
thing. The interesting thing is what happened 2 days ago, yesterday. What did the judge say the media can't do?
There was several things that the judge
Can't-
said you can't do.
Can't be there? Can't follow jurors home?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
can't
because
Well,
intimidate
and there was
jurors.
another meme that I saw late, and I know how it
Yeah.
upsets Boris when we send in late.
Yeah,
memes,
don't send
so,
don't send in late memes.
there
He
was,
gets mad.
there was
Too
this
stressful.
one that somebody
He
had
gets
said.
all
Actually,
he
it
gets
was-
all Keith.
well, the best part was it was from Dan Crenshaw,
Mm.
and so he took a picture of MSNBC saying that the verdict was white supremacy at its finest, blah blah blah, and Dan Crenshaw says, How'd you know you weren't there?
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I thought, okay, that actually is very funny.
That's awesome.
Did you see that the Taliban held a parade earlier this week with all the new equipment that they have?
Oh,
This
a
comes as
parade,
a
that's
surprise.
nice.
Right?
Did they put like lights and stuff on it?
No,
Oh.
they wanted to show it off. Bernie Sanders is pissed at his fellow Democrats. I know he's an independent, but
I
he's
heard that.
over the large tax breaks that they are giving to millionaires.
Since he has so much money, why doesn't he just donate it to the, to the American people in general then?
Do you know what the original that he wanted when he crafted the bill? How much he wanted the original Build Back Better to cost?
Mm-mm. How much?
$6 trillion.
What?
Wasn't it in trillions?
$6 trillion.
And who's
what
going
he-
to be? I mean, that's
And we're at 327.
Again, this is
billion.
this is a man who's never worked a day in his life. He's been in city politics when he first could run, which was in his early 20s, and has never been out of politics since.
Yeah.
So he has
He needs to get a real job.
No concept.
He has no concept how to do
No
that. He can
concept
make
whatsoever.
mittens or wear
Um,
mittens.
So FBI monitoring parents and applying threat tags.
How do I get one of those?
That's ridiculous. You don't want that.
Oh.
New poll that says the vast majority of people are now doubting Biden's health, his mental health.
Now?
Yeah,
So speaking of mental health, before you go on to the next one, he had his physical
saw that.
today and went for a colonoscopy.
It was
And
sedated. He was sedated
So they,
course he had to be
they
sedated.
temporarily switched powers to
As they have to.
for 90 minutes.
Madam VP
She
Yep.
was the first woman president for 90
for
minutes.
90 minutes.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. So
so
speaking of which transitions right into
There
this,
you go.
Women are currently being considered for the draft under the current NDAA Act for this year. It's up for a vote right now.
why are we talking about the draft?
Draft's always a
In the
topic.
event that it needs to be implemented,
Mhm. Why is it coming up now?
the draft comes up every year.
every year.
Oh,
The
does it? I
draft-
didn't know
The
that.
draft is actually written into the National Defense Authorization Act all the time. The idea is the fact that now, for the first time, they're putting women into it for the 2022
Availability is.
availability. And so
It's only fair.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I thought it
was.
was something coming up to make it be thought of. I didn't know it came up every
I'm
year.
not necessarily against it. I just wanted to make sure that I just thought it was interesting news.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, absolutely.
And then I thought this one was kind of interesting too, that there are Democrats that are pushing back on renominating the current Fed chair. And why? Because the Fed chair doesn't want to use the Federal Reserve to demonetize banks or whatever they want to call it that are not pushing climate change as the priority. Really?
From a bank?
What?
Yeah.
Why is a bank pushing anything? You're a bank.
Why?
Right.
Why does everyone want to get in everybody else's business?
Exactly.
Stay in your
oh,
lane.
that's a good. See, there we
Stay in
go.
your lane.
You're a bank. Be a bank.
Be a
Fuck
bank.
it.
Yeah.
Be a bank.
Fuck do you care about?
Stay
climate
in-
change?
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
It's like a bank trying to tell me what pancakes to eat.
As long as it's not Aunt Jemima, you're good.
I got some. I got 2 boxes downstairs.
All right, I'm done.
You done?
I'm trying to keep it down to one page now on the
Very
because
nice.
it causes so much conversation.
It was the Afghans' Day Parade.
Afghanis.
Does it
Day
make a
Parade.
difference?
Yeah.
I just wanted them to.
Still parading our shit.
I just
right now.
wanted them
Yeah,
to,
they're
you
still
know,
parading
do it up
our-
or
yeah.
something.
What
I
we
want to
should
know,
have
was our
done-
president proud when he saw that parade? Oh, he
Oh.
was knocked out.
Dog,
He
nobody
didn't see
told
it.
him.
He was,
Nobody told him.
he was
He
going
was
to do his
knocked out.
colonoscopy.
He's good.
What
No.
they should have done is because it was all there on display, they should have bombed the shit out of it. Then.
Just right
Yeah, it's
there.
all right there.
I'm
Right there,
I'm
right.
sure
Air
all they
raid.
do. Well, see, and that's a good point. That is a very good point. But I'm sure that whenever bad news comes up, they just cue the ice cream truck.
And he and wanders off.
He
Here's
wanders
a
off.
Joe. Here, Joe. Here's an ice cream sandwich for you. Go in the corner and eat
Yep,
it.
He's all-
exactly.
We're get, mommy and daddy gonna talk real talk right now.
All right.
Did you get told that a lot?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Because you were in the
we-
basement with the blanket over your
we are-
head.
We are going to have some conversations with your parents
He was
No,
the
sh-
baby. He
no,
was.
sure.
Question about Keith as a youngster.
Oh, that'll bring a lot of beer.
Okay.
That'll be good stories.
You should ask about my brothers. That's probably more.
Yeah, they're
than me, so.
entertaining. There's a lot of car fights
A lot
and
of stories. A lot of
pushing
stories.
Lot
people
of
down the
stories.
stairs.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Anytime there's siblings involved, it gets
Mm-hmm. Keith was the
gets
good one. He
interesting.
What do you
watched
want to do
everybody
next
else.
there? I don't know. I'm
Boris?
trying to come up with a title for you, and it's just
Boris?
Not,
Just
Dad says
yeah.
Bernie Sanders is an idiot.
Well, we know
Well,
that.
we
That's
we
not
know.
new.
All right, we're gonna have to put the Captain Obvious sticker on your dad.
He wears good mittens though, right?
right? I haven't
He
seen-
does wear good mittens.
Well, what happened to all those memes? Are gone.
They'll come back.
They'll come
They
back
moved
for sure.
on.
I will say when the lame duck session of Obama, and there was all those memes that came out
Mhm.
with Obama and Biden looking out the window, and all these memes about he's moving this out and he's moving this in, and
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, it was hysterical. That used to be back in that time frame. Those were my favorite.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I remember those. That was funny.
Mm.
What do we want to get into your guys' segments? Do you have segments this week? You have a PSA? Do you have a?
I
Darwin
always
Award?
I have PSAs
He's got like 9
ready
of
to
them lined
go.
up.
I have funny stories. What do you?
Does
you
Winnie
So-
have a Darwin?
yes and no.
Okay.
All right, so we have 40 minutes left. I want to get into the Rittenhouse trial a little bit and talk
All right.
about some of the facts.
All right, so let's do a little Thanksgiving here real quick.
Okay.
I got a
Okay.
funny story, and then we'll do a little Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So this is a funny story. Parents tell their kids that they're getting divorced. So an elderly man, this is the way it's written. So I'm not making this just because it's local. So an elderly man in Phoenix calls his son in New York and says, "I hate to ruin your day, but I have to tell you that your mother and I are getting divorced. 45 years of misery is enough." Son says, "Pop, what are you talking about?" Dad's like, "I can't stand the sight of her anymore. She can't stand the sight of me anymore. We're sick of each other, sick about talking about this. So you call your sister in Chicago and you tell her." And then he hangs up. Frantic, the son calls his sister, who explodes on the phone. "They're not getting divorced if I have anything to do about it," she says. She calls Phoenix immediately and screams at the old man, "You are not getting divorced. Don't do a single thing until I get there. I'm calling your brother back. We're going to both be there tomorrow. Till then, don't do a damn thing. You hear me?" And hangs up. The old man turns to his wife and says, "Yep, they're both coming for Thanksgiving."
I like that.
I've heard that story
That's
before. That's
great.
funny.
That is perfect. We'll just have to remember that with our kids.
So is that how we get your brothers out here? Mom and dad are getting divorced. They'd be like, okay.
That's
That's
that's funny. That's a good story. I like that.
I like that.
funny.
yeah.
That's super cute.
So I also had in here, this was, I'm trying to be, because of the holiday, trying to be a little bit more positive, a little
Cheerful?
bit more cheerful, a little bit more. So I found this actually, as a PSA, I thought this was a great story. This was 3 basic rules for a gracious host to have a stress-free dinner.
Do we need to play your PSA thing?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're running short on time.
Do it. You need your PSA.
Yeah, it's only 20 seconds.
Nice.
That's-
Okay.
I don't know why, but that
I
seems
love
to
the
get more
screaming at the
obnoxious
end.
every time I watch it. So
Does John need to get a new PSA?
maybe,
I still dance with my hooker of the week. Like
because it's got to
it
have to be
shimmies.
It does.
John's PSA.
There you go.
There you go.
So, the first of the 3 rules for a memorable, stress-free dinner party: create a menu and keep it simple. So the person went on to write, "We can all attempt to do this simple truth. Food and holidays just go together, but sometimes it's not the right time to try an entirely new
Dish.
dish. If you want to try something you think that is within your realm, but keep the rest of the menu the time-tested
simple. Yep.
favorites that everybody likes.
Yep.
Can't
But
go
it can be
wrong.
entertaining watching faces like
Yeah.
Right.
And then the other recommendation they say is prepare all your dishes except for 3 ahead of time.
Mhm.
Only do 3 dishes on the
That
day
same
of the
day.
event.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
More time for family.
Yep.
Is that
More,
what it is?
more time for family, less stress
Visiting.
on everybody.
Well,
Yeah.
less stress because
Less
you're not
stress.
trying to
How many
cook
times
10
have you walked
things on the.
into the kitchen and it is just
A
crazy?
disaster.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
everybody's showing up and all of a sudden you got to try and adjust the turkey because somebody came in with some mashed potatoes that need
And then
to
you
be
put the
heated,
stuffing, and now you have
the
to
stuffing
put. Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So it's just they'd say try and keep it to 3 dishes. That need
That's
to
when you make your potatoes the day before and then throw them in the crock pot and heat them up.
There you go.
Second rule was set a beautiful table, but keep it simple. Use the best dinnerware. That's what it's for.
Mhm.
They say honor past traditions with your table setting. In this example, she said that she had some, silly, meant nothing, 3 little porcelain painted pilgrims that were old, not particularly special. Nobody really cared about them, but she just put them on the table because they were always there.
Yep.
And sometimes it's the little stuff that bring back memories from
Mhm.
past holidays.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
traditions too.
the
Yeah.
traditions, then they said, she also went on to say that include candles. Lighting candles sometimes helps signal dinner is about to be served.
Unscented
There you go.
candles.
It's a
Scented.
Unscented
Because
because
it changes the food, right?
Well, when you're eating, it's not just taste; it's smell.
smell, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want your candles
Your lavender
overpowering-
candle. Yeah.
overpowering your food.
Unless somebody's not a good cook, and then it makes the whole dinner experience
I was
much
gonna
better.
say, what if,
Yes.
what if it's pumpkin spice candle?
That's the
Yeah.
exception.
And the last one was take time to think about seating. So assign seats, place cute little name tags to help guests find where they're supposed to sit and eliminate hesitation. Make them feel special. It also helps showcase that you're a host or hostess with grace and wisdom. A thoughtful seating plan will also enhance conversation.
Never thought of that.
True.
True. If you put Dad next to John, it's going to be a lot better.
Right.
And that also helps you. I mean, it's both that you can group people that haven't had a chance to see each
meet.
other for
Yep.
a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the
Spark
other hand,
conversation.
if you need to
Separate.
separate,
Yeah. Keep certain people away from each other.
so that was my
like John and Dad.
That was my that was my little PSA. I thought I'd keep it nice and light and
I like
simple.
that.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Very good.
Good suggestions there.
What is your thing that goes on your table that reminds you like of holidays past? What is your pilgrims on the table?
John has done. He is not a holiday.
For as much as I am, and my kids and Wendy will even admit this, that I am a sentimental old fool. I'm not.
But he brings
too-
out a Charlie Brown tree at Christmas.
Hey, I got one too.
I love my Charlie Brown tree. That was awesome. I actually had taken all the ornaments and I had wrapped the hook, so that way I never had to take it
Apart.
Oh, yeah.
apart.
yeah.
You literally just you grabbed it by the throat and you just transport it down, put a bag over it, good to go.
Good to go for
Oh,
Oh yeah,
next year.
Merry Christmas. Come back, put it on, plug it in. There you go.
Done.
Oh,
There you
It
go.
was the best. Yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
used to have an 8-foot tree. Me and the boys looked at it one year and said, "This thing's going out."
Somebody wants to get one.
Go for it. I think you should do it. Why not?
What do I want to get?
A big, huge tree
Why not?
It was your
to
idea.
put in the train room. It was not.
Yes, it was. You said we need a big tree.
I did not. I said we need a real tree. I do not want a big tree. I want a real tree.
Just a small misunderstanding, huh?
Yeah.
Big, real.
Maybe we should have these conversations before we bring it on the show.
Right.
So why did the police arrest the turkey?
Oh boy.
They suspected foul play. Why did the turkey
But,
cross the road twice? To prove it wasn't a chicken.
Oh my god. These are dad jokes.
They are.
I got dad jokes too. I'm gonna stop that.
You mean they're not?
Those
Hey,
are those are dad jokes.
That bottom row of buttons,
Yeah,
hit the second one.
this one.
Yeah.
Ooh, that I mean, now that
That's
I have
terrible.
sound effects,
You
this
can
is
barely
awesome.
hear it.
I
we
know.
gotta turn
It
the
doesn't
volume up.
matter
We gotta
as
crank
long
it
as
up.
we can.
As John can
'Cause-
push buttons.
Yes.
You still got your crickets on the first one. The harder you hit it, the louder it is too. So
Oh.
it's a touch sensitive. Like actually hit it.
Like a
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
I
It's
like
a
that.
it's a percussive instrument.
one.
Good choice, Wendy.
That was
I think,
awesome.
I think a couple of those are
Hit-
repeated.
Hit the
so.
last one. Hit the last one.
That was the one she just hit.
No, the last one we haven't hit.
The next one in the middle.
That's it repeated. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hers and mine. His and hers.
It's still going. That's a bad. I gotta find a better boo than X. That sounds
Boo.
like
It sounds like a dying cow.
sounds like somebody going through a haunted house.
Boo.
It's not scary.
You're not, Vince, it's not scary. Wow.
That's funny.
That was perfect, Wendy. That's good.
All right, so you want to talk a little bit about the trial?
Yes.
I thought Wendy had a one.
Oh yeah, you do have
It's,
Darwin.
it's gonna
Sort of.
play
Tie in?
into this.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So I
So
really
you-
did, I didn't follow the trial from the beginning. I don't know if you guys did or not.
I
but-
watched a little bit of it.
Okay.
I
But-
watched when he spoke, when Kyle Rittenhouse spoke.
So the facts that came out after the trial, let's kind of sum up the facts. So we were talking the other day a little bit about this.
Mhm.
And so he had family.
So
There-
His dad and extended family lived in Kenosha, and I
Okay.
believe that's where he was a lifeguard. Is in Kenosha.
So he was invited there, right?
Correct.
Is that what we understand? He was invited
Yes.
there. The weapon he had was not his weapon.
correct.
He was given the weapon.
Correct.
Okay.
From who?
Did that come out?
That I think he was
It
given
was like
the
a used car lot.
Yeah, it did come out. I think it was from, if I remember correctly, it was from the location that he was at. Like he was protecting.
Oh, okay.
This
Okay.
used
Whatever
car
building he
load.
was protecting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was there
To
not
protect the spot.
not to cause trouble, but to protect.
Right. And he actually brought what do you want to
A
call
med
it?
kit.
Yes, a med
First
kit.
aid kit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's EMT trained. Okay.
Correct.
So I'm guessing, and again, forgive me for my naivete, but I don't know the whole story.
We're not
you know.
broadcasters. We are just simple folk here talking
Right.
over coffee.
So two of the people who were involved in this had a history, had a record. Okay.
Mhm.
They were clearly not there to protect anything. They were there to get
Cause
attention,
problems.
right? Cause problems. So they must have saw him with the rifle and decided they were going to antagonize him. Do you think that's how it
That's
went
probably
down?
a pretty fair thing to say.
Okay. So the events that took place is, I'm sure there was some pushing and shoving to begin with, but
Well,
he
name
was,
calling and all that, as I'm sure there will be.
Mhm.
he was cracked over the head with a skateboard.
3 times.
Yes.
But that was second.
So what was first? Was he
First
pushed
was
down?
the first guy that got shot and killed. He lunged at Rittenhouse aggressively.
Okay.
That was corroborated
Corroborated.
So here's
by several witnesses.
here's a fun fact. So this kind of plays into my
Darwin.
Darwin. He was released from a hospital. I think it was that day.
the first person.
the first person,
Okay.
Rosenbaum, I think his last
Okay.
name is. He was released from a hospital that very day because he tried committing suicide.
Jesus.
Well,
How interesting
they
is
say
that?
the highest suicide.
I mean, you have
attempts
suicide
are
by
done by
police.
police, yeah.
Exactly. So who's to say he didn't try?
Same thing.
Yeah, he took a weapon and put it in somebody else's face. Well, that
You're gonna
had
get
one
shot.
too. Yeah. What do you expect?
Yep.
So even at this first lunge, did Rittenhouse go down on the ground after this first lunge, or did he stay
No,
up? He was
no.
up.
No, there was, and I might be mixing up a couple of the facts. I know that he had to one or two of the attackers announced to them that if they came any closer, he was going to have to shoot.
As he should. As
So,
Yep.
and like I said, the witnesses corroborated the story, saying that this guy lunged aggressively at Rittenhouse multiple times, I think it was, and so Rittenhouse finally, I think he might have gotten chased a little bit.
I think I did see a video of him running away.
that was the
Yeah.
second and third. That was
And
later.
so finally, he got to a point where he had to shoot.
Yeah.
well, the third time of being cracked over the head with a skateboard.
Yes.
That was for the second guy or
That was
third
the second guy. That was
Yeah.
the second guy that hit him with
Yep.
the skateboard, because
Yep.
when he shot that guy and the third guy heard the gunshots, he was allegedly a block away, ran towards the gunshots.
But you're not up to no good running towards gunshots.
You're not.
Just
You're up
saying.
to no good being in the middle of a riot to begin with.
Right.
Yep.
For
I
whatever
mean,
reason.
let's call a spade here.
So the
Yep.
third guy, who was not the guy, he was the lone survivor. He is the guy that got hit in the arm, had a weapon on him. Also, he had an expired concealed carry permit.
Okay.
It was a handgun. The guy is 26, I want to say.
So he was illegally carrying.
illegally carrying a handgun. So when they talk about how illegal Rittenhouse was for carrying a rifle, which in the state of Wisconsin you can do at 18,
Okay.
and a handgun is 21. So, read into
Okay.
it whatever you want. But the idea was that the guy had a expired concealed carry permit, had his gun on him anyhow. He was known to be an antagonist, had been shown or however they want to call it. He had posted on social media several times anti-cops, and he had been arrested at other anti-cop rallies and things like that. So the guy was clearly not a fan of police,
Right.
even though he was a paramedic. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
So, all right. So he's been taunted. He's been beat over the head with a skateboard to the point where these other two they get to the point where they aim the gun at Rittenhouse. They aim their guns at Rittenhouse.
That
right?
was the third guy.
And that was basically the last straw. Right.
The third one, yeah. So I seen part of the video. I can't say that I know the timeline as to who was in
Yeah.
what frame where they were on the video, but I did see something somewhere where Rittenhouse is clearly on his back and somebody is coming at him, and he finally, and they're kicking him and trying to take the weapon away from him.
Yeah.
I saw that when they tried to. You can see them
they're trying to
physically
Yeah.
pulling
and
the
one of them
rifle away.
has a gun, and the other one's trying to pull the rifle away from him, and so he finally gets control of the rifle again and shoots.
Pulls the
one guy.
trigger, as
Yeah.
I would have too.
Yeah, because someone takes it from you.
Somebody
you
is
can
on
only
top of me with a weapon. I don't care who you are. If I tripped and fell, you are above me with a weapon. You're dying.
But
I'm
here's
sorry.
here's the question now. Now you talk about the restraint that Rittenhouse had. Now don't get me wrong.
Oh.
I'm not. Again, you said people were trying to make him out to be a hero. I'm not doing that.
no,
Right.
But this is a kid we're talking about.
Mhm.
Okay.
an 18-year-old child.
The restraint that he had to get hit 3 times with a skateboard and get to that
Pushed
position
and
before he
kicked
shot
and-
somebody.
Yeah.
Could you guys have had that restraint?
No.
No.
I know. There's no way. If somebody, if I'm in the middle of a riot, whether I'm defending a business or whatever, and a group of people come up to me, they're not going to come give me a cup of coffee, right?
Right. They're not there to shake your
And-
hand.
and the first
Especially with the
time-
pistol.
And
Yeah.
the first time they try to smack me over the head with it, I mean,
I'm
honestly,
telling
if
you-
they hit him the right way, they could have killed him.
With the
Yeah.
skateboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right
Right spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Into the temple or something. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now you're assaulting me with what's now become a deadly weapon.
Right.
And at that point,
3 times.
I don't think I would have made it past the first time. I
Nope.
really
No.
don't.
The
No.
first time would have done it for me.
No. Wendy and I were talking about this either yesterday or today, and about the fact that, I would have very clearly just announced, don't touch me, don't approach me,
Don't come near me.
don't come
Do
near
not.
me, I will shoot
Absolutely.
you.
Yep.
And, you make
And
an
the
aggressive-
sad thing is you would have to sit there with your phone videotaping the whole thing, and you would still be put in jail.
Well, nowadays, unfortunately, our society is degraded to the point
So.
to where the moment something happens,
Somebody's catching
Well,
it.
That's what I'm
it's not
saying.
somebody. It's 20, 30 phones are getting
Right.
pulled
Yeah.
out, and,
And that's
everybody's
fine.
videotaping.
But I would want to make sure that you get me at the beginning saying, I have a weapon. You need to stand back. You need to back up. You need to get away from me.
Which they clearly did. There was
Yeah.
video. Of
Oh,
him
yeah.
saying
Him
that.
saying that
So,
multiple times.
Yeah.
People aren't very smart. And then, but he's the attacker. He's the criminal.
Well, the fun
He's
thing-
made out to be the bad guy because he's trying to help others, one, protect their livelihood.
Yes.
And I I look at it from the personal standpoint of whether it's you guys, whether it's McCormick's, whoever, it's someone that I know.
Yeah. Even just your
their
neighborhood.
exactly. It's under attack. Oh, hell yeah. I'm
Yes.
stepping up because guess what? That
That's
affects
my
me.
area.
That's my
yes.
people.
Yes.
So what was that one post or comment you saw on social media earlier this week?
Oh.
Not that you got to find it, but basically somebody was saying,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the details of it.
to the extent they were talking about the trial, and somebody was saying that if I remember correctly,
That he was basically looking for
for trouble. He
yeah,
was looking
here
to
it
shoot
is.
somebody.
Nobody drives into a city with guns because they love someone else's business that much. That's some bullshit. No one has ever thought, oh, it's my solemn duty to pick up a rifle and protect that TJ Maxx. They do it because they're hoping to shoot someone. And this is a quote by some guy. His name is Trevor Noah. He's got to be some sort of influencer or whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this clearly you don't have the details.
You're obviously not very smart, because what would happen? So
What
And-
if your
No,
church
I had
was
this
being
conversation
Right,
with Keith.
exactly.
No,
and you wouldn't, as a congregation, say, no, we're standing up.
to protect our area. I had this
Exactly.
conversation with Keith when they were rioting downtown. I told him, I said, if we have to go downtown to protect the house, we're doing it.
Exactly.
I will 100% sit in my front yard with a pistol.
And if you had called
Absolutely.
us, we would have been right
You'd
there
have been
with
right
you.
there with you.
And the funny thing
Absolutely.
is, so during the LA riots back in the late 80s, early 90s, whenever
It was
that was,
Early
early
90s.
you know, and they talked about the
1991.
Wow.
wow,
Ooh,
She's pulling
dang,
out
Wendy.
dates. Holy shit.
you know, and they constantly pull out the I guess it was a grocery store. It's like a small little neighborhood grocery store.
Mhm.
And so an Asian
Like a corner store.
yeah, so like an Asian family, and several of them stood inside the store, and several of them stood on the
Absolutely.
on
On the
the
roof.
roof.
Absolutely.
and they had
That's their livelihood.
Oh,
they
yeah,
had-
yeah.
they
That's
had
their
ARs,
life.
and they protected their store. And the media at that time was like, you know, look at these folks, and they're doing it.
Yep.
They're doing what they have to do.
Yep, absolutely.
So
nowadays they'd be looking for a fight, though.
Well, the
looking
funny
to
thing
shoot
is,
some
you know,
people.
so Gavin Newsom had to tweet some bullshit today about the fact that, you know, somebody got away with murder, and this is what we're
People get away with murder every day.
but hold on, hold
And
on, hold on, hold
intentional.
on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Intentional.
Hold
well,
on.
it's like, wait a minute, Gavin, can you just concentrate on California and the shit show that is?
Yeah.
Right?
But no, are you living under a fucking rock? This guy was beat up, attacked several times. He didn't murder anybody. He was defending himself. He was
Yes.
defending his life and his property.
Whether he was
And-
should
and
have
this-
been there
and this
or not.
Dimwit with this statement you just read, he's living under a fucking rock too, because did we not see over the summer all the riots of burning buildings and
The people they killed in the streets,
What about the-
kicking
yeah.
their faces in.
Yeah.
We didn't care about
Yeah,
them.
there was that Portland, and I forget exactly the details. So the guy was either
he was a shop owner, wasn't he, or
no,
something?
there was a policeman. So
Oh, right, the
either,
policeman.
he was either a chief of police,
Oh, where he just retired.
he was either just
Yeah.
retiring, or he had just retired.
Yeah.
I want to say I think he was just on the verge of retiring.
I thought he had.
I think he
retired.
just like
Yeah.
that week retired.
And so I mean, and you know, and they killed him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These rioters killed the guy.
Yes.
and he was African American, wasn't
Yes,
he?
he was.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so
Not
how
that it should make
many
a difference, but
No,
the
but-
fact was,
no, it shouldn't.
but how many
no.
shop owners got their faces smashed and ended up in the hospital?
How about
There
that
was-
lady? Yeah.
They're yeah,
Right in
like
front
they're
of her husband.
attacking people walking down the street,
But that's okay.
but
we're not going to
that's
do
fine.
anything.
But you can't show up with a pistol.
well,
protect your city.
And the thing is, I mean, let's be honest. Let's call it for what it is. Any of these that are breaking into the Walmarts and burning down the car dealerships,
They're
They're
just
look-
taking advantage
they're
of a
taking advantage of the
situation.
situation. They are not walking for social justice. They are
No.
literally just taking advantage.
They
of
have
the
no idea
situation.
what social justice even is.
Now, here's why I think Rittenhouse went wrong. And I will say this. If he was there protecting a car lot, you said it was?
I
You
think
believe
so.
it was? Whatever business you're protecting,
Stay at that
I don't,
business.
I don't know
know
if
why
I'd
you
be
ended up
walking
down the street. Yeah.
with an AR-15.
Yeah.
Well, I
Because
think
to me, that's just inviting trouble.
it is, but I think
It is, but it's
Part
not. I mean,
of-
if you see them trashing
he
the house up
was-
the road, like you
he
can't
had a medic kit, so he was looking for anyone that was hurt.
needed help.
If I read another blurb that he had put out a fire of, I don't know if it was a dumpster or something that they had
something.
set on fire, and they were pushing it towards a gas station.
Oh, okay. So he would put that out.
So
to
he
get-
was trying to
do good.
He was trying to
Yes.
do good. He was trying to, if someone needed help, he was there to help.
Okay, so he wasn't just walking down the street with an AR-15. He was
No.
he was
See,
literally
That's
I
why
trying
he
to do
brought
some other
he
things.
brought his medic
Well-
kit for anyone that was hurt. Because
Yeah.
come on, let's face it. Look how many people
It's
we
not like the
saw
ambulances
got,
are coming down there.
Right.
well, and look how many people we saw got hurt on in other riots.
Right, right.
Well,
exactly.
and the thing is, going back to the post that Wendy was reading off of social media, and I made the comment, which I think in my mind makes perfect sense. So you're telling me that you've never been, left or right, so disgusted with a situation that you've been spurred to action to go do something because you think there's a huge injustice.
Well, in their
Isn't that
minds,
the
they
whole-
thought that's why they were there.
Right. I mean, that goes back to the whole why people are rioting in the first place, because they think
There's an
huge-
injustice.
an injustice.
the whole
and
point
so-
of BLM.
Right. So, you know,
Well, no, not
But when
really.
you're smashing in people's businesses and stuff like that, that had nothing to do with it, that is not
None of these people had anything to do
right.
with it.
That
There
is not
was a-
justice. You're not accomplishing
anything. You're not doing anything other than
anything productive.
no. You're just drawing attention somewhere else. That's
Yeah.
all you're doing.
Sorry, I know I'm getting a little worked up tonight.
No, it's
Hmm.
it, well,
she,
it's,
she,
it's
she got, so this was on Fox News. I was watching this earlier today. It has no bearing on the fact that it was Fox News. So again, it goes back to the whole media thing and the fact that some of the reporters are starting to say, all right, wait a minute, this is getting a little bit out of hand. So obviously the left, so the reason it's on Fox is because nobody on the left mainstream media is going to report it. But there was a New York Times reporter who had actually, and I saw the interview with the person today, which is why I could find it on Fox, but I couldn't find it anywhere else.
Mm.
So this reporter is seeing the riots going on in Kenosha,
Mm-hmm.
you know, gets the whole same opinion as the rest of the country, who's more than 40 miles away from from Kenosha,
Right.
you know, what's going on, and ends up jumping on a plane, going out there to see it for themselves. Goes out there and realizes these aren't, you know, Walgreens and Home
Nope.
Depot.
These are mom and pop stores.
These are
Yep.
mom and pop stores, and
Yep.
how they are devastating these mom and pop stores. You know, these are people that are
Killing these communities.
yeah, they're you know,
Their livelihood is right
not
there.
only their livelihood, but I mean, these people have not only put time and effort, but they've invested blood, sweat, and tears
Yep.
into this.
Mhm.
This
Yep.
they took everything they could to put into these stores, whatever the store is, and this is their whole thing. I mean,
Mhm.
it's like a child to them.
and where are those people now?
Some of them recovered. Some of them probably have not. I mean, I don't have anything that says one way or the other,
That's
but
a
it's
good
just
question.
funny.
I
It's
think
just
we
funny
should-
though, because this person said, because the name of the person was Nellie Bowles, and said they wrote the story and they wrote the human aspect about, you know, these are not
Mm-hmm.
big name, you know, big box.
You're not
stores.
going into
These are-
Walmart.
These are small little mom and pop stores. And said the funny thing is, so this happened obviously right before the election last
Right.
year,
Mm-hmm.
and the story got buried.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it because of the fact that the New York Times did not want it to affect the election.
Of course. As it would have.
And
Well,
it's like,
it-
really,
well,
whatever
Because you're
happened
actually
to
seeing what's
what
going
happened
on.
to the media being unbiased?
Well, it's ratings.
hasn't been in years.
I firmly believe it's ratings. If you take away ratings for the news channels, you'll get better
stories.
stories, more quality, more journalism coming through instead of, ooh, we got to put this, you know, headline up for capture attention
Yeah.
and get ratings. It's all about ratings.
I would agree with that. Other than CNN is tanking.
CNN doesn't have anybody watching.
Well,
it.
CNN is a race to the bottom. Yeah.
But if it's about ratings, you would want to. You're obviously not.
But you're only
getting the
controlled by
ratings.
who owns you.
I mean,
Well, I think CNN at this point, I could be wrong. My personal opinion is I think CNN is just trying to clutch the life preserver
not
until a
drown.
Republican takes back over in the White House.
see, I have a different opinion.
I'm all ears.
My opinion is nobody owns these news channels anymore.
Oh yeah, I think it's probably the same people.
I believe it's all ran by the government.
But who runs the government? Not the government.
I think there's some influential people that
I
own
wish
them.
I had an ice cream
Um,
truck sound effect.
Yeah, right.
Your
The ice cream truck runs the government.
I don't know if they're owned by the government. I know that there's probably government regulation on them.
Own might be wrong word to use.
I'm not even
over
gonna say. I'm not even gonna say regulation. Influence.
Influence,
Influenced.
yeah. That if
Money.
you don't,
yeah.
based on what you're reporting or whatever, you better give a otherwise,
This much time or this much whatever.
or we can assess fines through the FCC.
I don't even think it
right?
comes to
And-
that. I really truly think it comes down to money. I think it's the same 6 people that own everything else, and they own them as well.
True.
And whatever they think or feel is whatever needs to be on there.
I don't think, and the people making these decisions, I don't think they give a rat's ass what happens with the ratings
Nope,
of the
They
news
don't care.
channels.
That money's coming from
Why-
other things.
Why do you see so many journalists walking away now?
Right.
because they see a different injustice that they're not being journalists, they're being pawns.
So who's running the show?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
We are not
Follow
in
the
a
money.
position to know.
To know.
Usually, if you
Which
follow
is
the
why-
money, you find it.
The DOJ is raiding Project Veritas.
What is Project Veritas?
Awesome.
So Project Veritas was started by some journalists who got tired of the corruption.
Okay.
And so they went and they are actually exposing journalists who are reporting incorrect facts. I
They go
guess.
deep undercover.
So
into
if
these
you
certain
heard about, so
organizations.
in I want to say again it is Loudoun County, but I can't imagine that Loudoun County could do this many stupid things. But somewhere out east there was the teacher who had a communist flag in his room, and he was reported on, I guess you want to call it, or found out or uncovered by Project Veritas
Didn't
say-
parents complain about him or something?
that he was, so he sit there and he's doing an interview with a Project Veritas reporter, not knowing that the Project Veritas was going to actually out him. The guy is sitting there and literally bragging that he only has 16 weeks or 32 weeks or whatever it is to be able to convert these children
Mhm.
into communists.
Yep.
And so they showed this video online, and all these parents come out, and I mean, then all of a sudden the school board or the principal or
Mhm.
whomever all of a sudden goes into
Because
the-
they've
into the
never
room and
been
goes,
in. They've never
"Oh,
been in that
oh,
room
shit,
before.
That's a red flag. Oh shit! No, we didn't know. We didn't
Yeah,
know.
we didn't know about
We
that.
didn't know
The
about that.
the principal is in a teacher's room once a week.
They
Yeah,
should
so
be.
In this,
They
according
are.
to them, they had no clue.
Mhm.
What did
But-
he just put it up?
So Project Veritas will contact these places, and they'll set up like a mock interview
Yeah.
and pretend like they're on their side, and they'll
Yeah.
start exposing stuff through the interview. And if you watch some of the tapes and some of the shit that comes out of these things, it's incredible.
Is it?
I love. I can't remember his name.
Hats
but
off to them.
Sean
Uh,
Hannity has him on all the time.
So
And
Project
he's-
Veritas allegedly got, so the cover story, and I don't know if this is true or not, was the fact that Project Veritas got raided by the DOJ
Mhm.
because of the fact that they had somebody's diary.
Do we know whose?
It's a Biden.
Yeah,
It's not
The-
Hunter.
It was the daughter, wasn't it? The
It's-
daughter
it's
or
a
something.
daughter or something.
Oh,
like
that's
no,
right.
he's too
Yeah,
busy
that's right.
smoking
Yeah,
crack.
like Ashley Biden, I think is her name.
Well,
if
how
I
did they get a
remember
hold
correctly.
of the
It was
diary?
given. It was given to them.
It
And
was
so they turned it into the FBI or some police department of some sort because they felt like it being handed to them, there was no verification that this was actually factual or not.
Yeah.
Right.
So they did the right thing as journalists and said, we have no way to prove one way or the other that whether this is
But
true
you
or
might
not.
want to look into
So
this.
they gave
yeah.
they gave it to somebody in law enforcement to be able to say that you might want to follow up on this because this looks like this might be something that, if it does belong to Ashley Biden, she's going to want it back, and you don't want this getting out.
Right.
So,
Mm.
but
like
the fact
Chris's-
that the DOJ raided, took cell phone information, took cell phones, but downloaded all the cell phone information, things like that. These are journalists, regardless.
How
of
do you
what-
get to do that?
That's the whole point. And that's where a lot of the journalists, even on the far left, are going, wait a minute. Today it's them. But what about
Well, not even
tomorrow?
that. How do you how
exactly.
do you get to come after my stuff?
Hence why there's lawsuits going on.
That's part of the reasons
Mm.
why there was a judge that said today or this week that said give them their stuff back.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the DOJ is just, being
The
given
DOJ
marching orders.
I mean, it comes back to, the DOJ seem to have just lost all of its parameters and can just do what they feel like they want to do.
or are they being told to do certain things?
I was going to
Even
say,
if you're being told, that's
Yeah.
not your.
Well,
I think they're given directives.
isn't the overreach that we're seeing over the last couple months just a little over the top now? I mean, just everything.
there's a well-known
It's been over the top for a long time
but more
But
more
it's been
so
a little and a little and a little.
more
and a
so in an
little.
effort
because they keep
now.
pushing. They keep
Mhm.
pushing, and everyone, the more people that are accepting of it, then they can push some more. I mean, it's all about pushing those
It's
boundaries.
Literally, I know everybody uses the same analogy. It's the dog on the chain. Every day they take away one link.
Yeah.
You don't miss a link. It's a link. It's
True.
just one little link.
Yeah.
So one little day, oh, we're just going to have you do this. Okay, well, that's no big deal. Then they leave you for a week. I'm going to take out one more link. And then a week later, one more link until you literally have no links left.
Right. And then you wonder, how did I
How
get
did
here?
I get
well,
here?
and you got the president who goes on a town hall meeting and sits there and says, freedom, I have the freedom to kill you. Okay, so if that's what your
Say what?
thought of freedom is, because he sits there and he panders to the chosen audience in the CNN town hall, and he sits there and he mocks freedom, those that say that they're for freedom, and he mocks it because, oh yeah, they have their freedom to kill other people by not getting the vaccination, blah blah blah. And the whole idea is that he's missing the point of what freedom is,
means.
Right.
because now he's shaming those that want to stay free in
Yeah.
this country. That's how it starts, right?
Absolutely.
And then the other part of it is the fact that there was an interview, and I wish I had the information. I didn't have it. I wasn't planning on needing it today. There's a well-known interview with a reporter who was interviewing then Senator Biden years ago, and he made a comment to the reporter of, we can just take away your First Amendment right anytime we want.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
And that's from years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So this is not like a recent development.
No.
This is
And why would, I mean, as a senator, obviously he did not know what the Constitution is and
He
what it
didn't care.
right.
He
who
never
are you?
has. Yeah, he never has. That's been his whole goal the entire time.
well, that's why he's deeply upset and angered by the Rittenhouse verdict.
Right.
I'm
because
sure.
he was hoping to be able to parlay this into some kind of Second
Plan
Amendment
for
thing.
him.
But here's the thing that boggles
As
my
every shooting is.
here's the thing that boggles my mind still, and I just can't wrap my head around it. And going back to what you said about your family making a comment about the trial today,
Yeah.
I read that comment, and
Mhm.
I wrote was same thing what you're saying now.
I retyped it 3 times.
You have the right to kill people by not getting the vaccination. Where is the goddamn proof that we're killing anybody by not being vaccinated? Have you killed somebody
If
since
Not
you're not
the
today.
vaccinated?
vaccine's supposed to protect yourself, it doesn't protect anybody
But it's not
else.
even doing that. That's my point. It's
True.
not protecting anybody
true.
at this point. We're doing booster after booster after booster because it's not fucking working. And they're still driving home this narrative that there's no proof for. And people
And
are
people are
still
still falling for it.
Because
And I
that's what-
don't understand.
because that's what they're being
And
told.
that's
but are we
we're
that,
going,
are we
we're
that,
going back
Yes,
to
we
that.
are.
Are we
So
that
we-
stupid?
Yes, we
so
are.
we missed the headline about why is it that, what was the headline now? Damn it.
And yes, we are that stupid.
We can't be. We cannot. We cannot
I don't
be.
know why this surprises you.
I get that there's a
There
certain
are
section of people that
90%
could
of
be
people.
that
So
stupid.
why is it that the FDA
Right.
is asking courts for a 55-year release on Pfizer's
Yes.
COVID-19 vaccine data?
55 years.
55
year.
years.
Didn't I tell you? Do you remember that picture
'Cause
that I showed you a hell of a long time ago on a Pfizer vaccine bottle? What was the expiration date? 2015, 2012?
Like that. I do remember
For a
seeing that
Pfizer
picture.
COVID vaccine
well,
that was just made in 2019?
So I mean, the funny thing is because obviously,
Expired.
I mean, I you know, and
So
Wendy and I were
almost-
talking about this last
It
night, and I-
expired.
and I did see an interview that did say, because I'm like, so you're telling me that right now? I mean, is this normal? Is this abnormal? I mean, are we only finding out about what the drugs are that were developed back in 1966 and earlier?
Right.
You're
now?
telling me that when they made this virus, they didn't make a vaccine. When they made it, they made a vaccine. They made something to offset it.
Well, if they did,
yeah,
that's so true.
exactly.
if the Chinese made a vaccine, they did a piss poor job.
Piss
at
poor
it.
job. at it.
Chinese didn't make it. We did.
But now,
It's always been in the US.
But
It
now
never
this-
left the US. The virus left the US. The vaccine never did. It was made here. It wasn't made there.
Right. Yeah, but the vaccine was made here, but
The
virus-
vaccine was made here. The virus was made here as well and then shipped to Wuhan to be tweaked. That's why the vaccine's not working because the vaccine was made on our virus, not theirs.
but the CDC was also forced to come clean now. I don't know if you saw this, to admit that they have no proof that people with natural immunity are spreading COVID.
I sent that to everybody earlier this week.
And they want to test for, you know, having it. They want you to get the vaccine. Why isn't there a big push to see who actually has the antibodies?
Why does it matter?
Right. If you have the antibodies, who freaking cares? You don't need
Even
a
if you
vaccine
don't,
then.
why does it matter?
Right. It's your own choice.
To be continued.
Right. I think we've gone
What
past
kind
our
of
hour
what,
and a half,
Everybody
right?
riled
what kind
up.
of weather does a turkey like? Come on.
Heat. I don't know.
Foul weather.
Foul weather. Okay, got it.
Really?
Yes.
I wasn't going that.
It's a
Wendy,
dad joke. That's
push
a
a button.
bad joke.
Wendy, push a button.
Who is not hungry for
Hard. You have to.
it doesn't stop.
No, it's the second one that stops.
Awesome.
I almost peed on myself. That was funny.
That sounded like a boo rap song.
Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo.
So I know another topic that we'll get into in another episode, but we need to talk about what the push is for these kids getting the vaccine. We really need to discuss that because
Do you
it's,
know
it's
how-
sickening. It is sickening.
Right.
And these parents that are doing it, I'm so proud of my daughter for whatever. I'm so proud of my son. What are you doing?
I'm so
I
glad my son is
personally-
like, nope, not giving it to my kid.
I personally know people who are having a lot of female problems after this vaccine and are scared that they're not going to be able to have children.
Oh, I love your last name, Oppenheimer. Love that. It's great.
That's awesome.
That is. As
So
we
the
get so
Ju-
quiet.
Trilitters
Okay.
Commission is intended to be the vehicle for multinational consolidation of the commercial and banking interests by seizing control of the political government. Barry
Mm.
Goldwater. Yeah, I think we know him,
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to look
That
that
name
up.
sounds familiar.
I'm all of a sudden wanting to see more about that.
right? Well, thanks for
Crazy.
watching. Thanks for
Because-
jumping
Yeah,
on.
thanks for joining
Something
us.
that I want to investigate later is I need to do more research on Bitcoin and find out what is.
I don't know anything about that.
It's interesting. I've done some reading on it.
and I want that to be a topic sometime in the near future because I'm curious about it.
I
And
don't
the one
100%
thing-
agree with that. I don't.
I agree with
I
this.
don't. Because if you want to actually do a safe drug trial, it shouldn't be. It should be people who volunteer for it. Any drug trial is people who volunteer.
Yeah, but if they want to mandate it, yeah, then
Mandate, absolutely.
then they get the mandate
But-
too. They're not exempt from it.
No, you don't get to be exempt
Yeah.
from it.
You mean like the White House is?
It
But-
should. It should never be mandated.
Nothing
first
should
of
be
all.
mandated.
But
period.
then again, if they're pushing something and you want to test it, and they're
If I'm
pushing,
pushing a product, what am I going to do? I'm going to be the first one to show you, hey, look, I use this product. It's awesome.
We're pushing something so hard on something that has always been and is still to this day. I'm not going to give an exact percentage, but I will say it's over 90% survivability rate.
99 over
99%.
99%.
Over
I-
99.
I know that, but I was going 90. I was going 90%. This whole time, It's been in the 90s.
Oh,
It is
you're
never-
going to be fast to listen to the numbers to the government, aren't you?
Because we were talking about the
Mm.
Spanish flu took out 20% of the population.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
Spanish flu allegedly took out somewhere by some estimates because they didn't do very good tracking 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
But they estimate as much as 20% of the world's population
Mhm.
has succumbed to the Spanish flu.
So here's a fun fact. I was
Got or died?
Died.
So here's a fun fact. I was just doing some research and pulling some numbers because I'm a numbers person.
You are.
Right.
I'm
You're a numbers hooker.
I am. On just the death rate
Mhm.
for the last like 5 years.
Oh, I know where Wendy's going because I've done those numbers.
And I found it interesting. So there was one site I was using. It was a .gov or
Yeah.
not a .gov, a .org.
Mhm.
So I mean, they're usually
pretty good.
unbiased.
Yep.
Mhm.
They had numbers going up to 2019.
Mhm.
They did not have anything for 2020.
Nope.
So I was, trying to find something for 2020. The only thing I could find was
The COVID numbers.
the COVID numbers or those that were published by like news outlets.
Okay.
Yep. No real
No like,
numbers.
exactly.
Yep.
And
Everything stopped in 2019.
and I find it interesting. So I'm trying to remember the state or the county. I think it's a state in which they were being pressured to release the death numbers from 2020 and they're refusing to do so.
Yep.
Well, why would you refuse to do that? I mean, I don't understand.
You've released every other year, right?
Exactly. So why can't you I mean, we are almost at the end of 2021. I think you should have already had your numbers in
Figured out.
place
They should be done.
months ago for 2020.
Well, I know. Because it would blow the freaking narrative wide open, probably.
Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So this is my other question. So if you look at those numbers, I want to know whether you have COVID related into that or not. Did those numbers go up?
That's interesting.
Paula, you got some interesting facts there.
Yeah. Where
'Cause
you
I think I read something about that it wasn't
Okay,
actually.
I didn't know
flu.
anything about that. That's
Mm.
new.
that is
be.
interesting.
I love the fact that I don't have to write any of this down. I can go back and just review
And
the
just
video.
Right.
watch,
And
the,
it's right
watch the
there.
episode. Thanks for that information.
Yeah, thanks for keep
you,
it up.
Yeah, hope you jump on future episodes with us for sure. And that's another point. I did mention that little video I put out today, asking everybody to jump on with us tonight. I do want to talk about why we are leaning so heavily, on Rumble. And it's because of exactly what happened today with Facebook. Not sure what happened. I went and set up the StreamYard like I do every week. Nothing changed. And when I went to set up all the streams,
It's gone.
it kept failing for Facebook.
They said go back and look at episode
Oh, really?
13.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. But then I refreshed it.
Sorry.
I reloaded Facebook on there. Everything checked out. Said you're good to go. Tried putting the stream back on there again. Denied it again.
Yep.
I tried it
YouTube's
5
going to do that
times.
to us next week.
They might. They might. So that's why I'm pushing Rumble so hard. Because number one, I think Rumble is not well known yet. I think people are starting to just find out about
And
it.
it's not very user friendly at the beginning.
It's not.
it's still
not.
new,
Yeah.
but once you're in, you're good.
But it's a platform we want to push heavily because number one, we can pretty much say whatever the hell we want, and
We're
Still
not
freedom of
censored?
speech.
we're not
Yep.
censored, which is good. Not yet.
Just wait, huh?
Give it
but-
some time.
But no, we
I can do that for you.
I want to break away from Facebook because we have people that do want to jump on via Facebook to watch or communicate with us. So
And
I
now
want
we can't
to
do
try
that.
to steer everybody more towards Rumble, and it will stay on YouTube as long as it takes to get kicked off. But but I would
That might
rather
be next
Is
week.
that a
challenge. No.
maybe?
But I'd rather
Dad said
put our
Facebook
efforts-
didn't like your subject matter tonight.
Probably that's probably what it was.
Which it probably did.
That's what I suspect it was. They saw the content that in my description,
Which
for
you
tonight,
described it.
and-
Yep. And you shouldn't have
and-
described it
and
as that.
It doesn't matter. It's a
Describe
fact.
it as
That's what we're
ice cream
talking-
liquors.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. So yeah, we want to target gearing more people towards Rumble. So if you're on tonight, you enjoy the content you're seeing, please go sign up for a Rumble page. It's not as difficult as you think. It is a little bit.
Not as bad as Lindsay says it is.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
It's a pain in
tiresome,
the
but,
ass at the beginning.
So yeah. So,
Oh yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
that was a good time. We actually had the box that said it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that was good.
What was that? That was what, number 2? Vitamins and viruses? Number
It might have
3?
been that one.
Possibly.
It's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Something like
when
that.
we were
Somewhere
off
in
on our
there.
COVID tangent. So thanks everybody for jumping on with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Please go give us a like on Rumble. Go subscribe to Rumble. It does not cost anything. They will not bombard you with emails. And you can check out all our shows. All our shows are.
And Taylor,
on
we
there.
weren't banned on Facebook yet. It just didn't let him post it on
We're not
Facebook.
officially banned.
We're not officially banned.
Yeah.
This is-
Not officially.
That was like-
Dad says
that was
not
like the
banned, just
timeout.
censored.
Yeah, well, it's
Are you in
sha-
Facebook jail?
shadow banned, possibly.
that was our timeout. We got a
Oh, you're in
timeout warning.
Facebook jail.
So
Oh.
And thanks for joining us, and join us next week too.
yeah, we're gonna continue this conversation next week, I think. And as we start getting closer to the holidays, are we doing a show next Friday though? Because it's the night after Thanksgiving. Are you guys
Here?
You're here.
You're here?
Are you here?
You're here.
Are
We're
we
not
up,
going anywhere.
we up
Are
the
you here
show?
for Thanksgiving?
Yeah. I know. It's a
What are you guys
shocker.
doing?
Making a turkey.
Setting
So-
a table and setting and
You want to
giving-
do it at our house? It's just us.
Oh, we thought you had
Mom and Dad, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's just us.
oh, Dan will want to talk politics.
Of course he will. He's going to want to
Probably.
talk politics whether you're here or not.
We'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
Dad, what do you think?
And as always, thank you to all our service men and women,
Yes.
those who have
Yep.
served and currently serve. And thank you to our first responders, our police
Absolutely.
officers. Thank you for everything you do. We truly appreciate it. And yeah, that's a wrap.
Peace out.
All right. Till next week. You guys have a great weekend. Have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Have a good
And
Thanksgiving. Enjoy your
we'll-
family.
Happy
We'll be here the night
Thanksgiving.
after. So when you're still drunk on turkey the next night, come join us. We'll have
We're going to
some
be
good
half
conversations.
asleep.
We have to continue our Christmas movie discussion.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
I think
Oh,
next week's a
yes.
good
Next
week.
week
to
would
do
be
Yeah.
that.
a good one.
So
I
we'll
mean,
do
if I
that.
can remember, I'll bring some.
Really? You
Yes.
just poo pooed all over that.
I did just poo poo all over
Oh,
your
yeah.
Christmas thing because I'm going to be fighting my own battle here.
Yes, you are. No, I think Wendy would join you.
Okay. We'll
The
see.
diehard one.
Yeah,
Gotcha. I got
exactly.
your back.
And we
I
got it.
heard so. It's not a Christmas movie.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Be safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.